Hey everyone, this is Roger. Thanks for tuning in today. We're going to go over how to use a hoe on hills, how to establish a road network that works best for you, how much you can actually put in a cart and pull it around, safety and defense while traveling with your goods, and much more. Thank you again. Let's get right into it. And please, if you like what you see, consider subscribing. Alright guys, so right here I just want to go over real quick some methods for leveling the ground on a hill with a hoe and your pickaxe. Some things that I found, and maybe it'll help you guys out is what I'm hoping for. So let's get some food in our belly here so nothing can come around and one-shot us. The first thing you're going to want to do, guys, is make sure that you have a rested buff. If you don't have a rested buff, slap down a fire and get the 8-minute one or whatnot. But the rested buff is going to give you the stamina regen. Doing this takes up an incredible amount of stamina. So when you're going uphill, I've noticed with the hoe that it's going to push the earth down. You're going to get everything pushed down, okay guys, when you're going uphill. Now, when you're going downhill, the opposite is true. When you're going to go downhill, it's going to push everything up. Alright, check that out. Now, one thing I've had help me out quite a bit, I'm trying to make, obviously, paths that carts can travel on at times to transport goods from one place to another. One thing I've noticed that if you don't want it to push it up or down, you can kind of do like a sideways walk. Just hit the sideways button, and you can kind of walk sideways with it. And I've noticed that helps me out in quite a few situations, make it smoother than just going uphill or downhill. And I hope that helps you guys out in certain situations. One other way you can do this, guys, is to just, if you're insistent on building a road per se that goes up a hill like this, is take out your pickaxe, and sometimes this is a better way, is to just hit the ground once, move forward, hit the ground once, move forward, and just rinse and repeat this. Because if you only hit the ground one time, it's going to constantly lift you up, and you'll see what I'm talking about. After a while here, I'm going to look, you can look behind me, and you're going to see it's kind of a nice smooth road that you can just take a cart up. I'm going to do this for just a little bit further so you can get a good understanding of what I'm talking about. Sometimes you're going to run into like a rock or something that drops down in, and you're going to have to take care of it. But you can kind of see here, this is smooth enough to put a cart on. And you're totally just going up the hill here. So like this, obviously, we want to take this out of here. But then, check this out, guys. We have this hill here, right? Now, if I take out my smoothing tool and I just go down this hill, it's going to screw it all up. You don't want to just go down because it's going to lift it all up, right? But if you turn sideways and go down the hill, it actually made it perfect, right guys? As good as you can possibly get it, honestly. Just because I went sideways down it. But now look guys, if I go straight down this thing, it's going to screw it all up. It's going to make some areas higher than others. There's going to be like dimples in it. It's going to be hard to get a cart up this thing. But if you go sideways, it smooths it out instead of lifting it or pushing it down. You see what I'm saying? Now I'll show you one more example. I'll try to go straight up it instead of sideways, and look what happens. It screws it up, completely screws it. Just completely screwed now. I don't even know if it'll fix it by going sideways down it. So my advice is don't ever go straight up or straight down. Try to go sideways, and it should work out pretty well for you when trying to make a road going up hills. Alright everybody, next thing I want to kind of show you is how to establish a trade route basically, or a road network is probably what I would like to call it because I'm solo playing this thing. I would normally call it like a trade route. But so as you can see here on my map, we're going to go from Roger's house, across here, across this river, across the second continent, across another river, and halfway across this third continent right here. Now, as always, I just went absolutely ridiculous and overdid it. I have like this mental problem where I have to double, triple redundancy everything. So I know for a fact that at any time and place I can get attacked by multiple trolls, draugr, skeletons, like 5 or 6 archer skeletons at once. So it's pretty much certain death unless you run away. And when you're carrying a cart with you that's full of valuable resources, you never want that to happen. So I'm going to show you what I did, and then you guys can take away what you need to take away from it, and then hopefully it helps some of you guys out. And I'll kind of explain some stuff that I did along the way as well. Let's get right into it. First, let me eat something here real quick, guys. And let me get a rested buff, just in case we need it for something. Alright, we got our 13-minute buff. Let's grab our cart. This cart's going to be empty because we're taking it with us to replace the one that we're going to bring back. So as you can see here, I leave my house and I have a completely flat surface that I'm working with. And all around my house, I have a very large canal to keep mainly trolls from getting in, honestly. But they have no way of accessing my house whatsoever. And all along my trade path here, all along my path, you're going to notice that I have it dug out. Except for when I get to the river, obviously I don't need to dig that part out. And along the bottom of my bridge that I put in here, you're going to notice I have the ground raised up in certain areas instead of just putting the boards down into the ground, because this game has something in the coding that once you get to a certain height, the stuff that you build will break off and you won't understand what's going on. So in order to avoid that problem, you have to raise the ground level up and have it closer to what you're building, so that if you get too high, you'll notice like part of your roof will just break off and you won't understand what's going on. You think it's maybe some kind of wind effect or something like that, when honestly the truth is that the game registers that what you're building is too high up off the ground and it'll just start to fall apart on you. So to get over that, you want to raise the earth up. So let's grab my cart here. So on both sides I have a canal, and then I have these workstations every once in a while so that I can keep building, because they only go so far. It's like a sphere. So you'll notice down here, when I was building this, I ran into some issues where the gray elders and stuff would just swim around my fence and come up and start beating on the stuff that I was trying to build. So on this part right here, I did a canal. I dug out another canal going around it, and then I put a fence up so even if they swim around it, they can't get up on top of the land. And you'll notice like this little guy right here sees me, but there's no way for him to get to me. So he'll just swim around like an idiot for like a half hour and not be able to do anything. And then right up here, I have an enclosed workstation in case I need to repair something. And I have a chest right here I can put stuff in. Either resin for my lamps or whatever, you know, to keep them, refill them every once in a while. And then right here, guys, is where it ends because this is how far I had to go to be at the same level as my house. So once I get past this area right here, I don't need to keep building my wood part, my wood bridge portion of it. So this part right here, guys, I did the same type of situation where I dug it out with my pickaxe, and then I went sideways up it with my hoe to make it nice and flat for myself. Because I basically just went right through a little mountain right there. And it's always harder to flatten out the areas that are going down a hill like this. I always find it extremely difficult to flatten out the downhills. So here I had another river I had to go across. So instead of building it the same way as the other one, this river I actually just raised up the ground with the hoe using stone. And then I put the wood across it to make it so that it was flat enough to take my cart across. And then we have a workstation on each side of the river. And then here, I mean, obviously these wood fences aren't going to keep a troll out, but what it is going to do is buy you enough time to get away with your cart from the troll. I mean, you don't necessarily have to stop and fight it, possibly die. So it'll buy you enough time, and then that's easy to repair, because if a troll breaks it, the resources that are just going to lay on the ground. You're going to be able to get the resources back. So this is a rest area. And the reason I put this in, guys, is because let's say you did run into like a fight, or you had to do a fight or something. You could easily just set up a campfire here, or whatever you needed to do. Or you... Oh wow, it says that's exposed. Huh, it must not be... It must be sticking out through the wall or something and not register that there's a roof on it. Interesting. That's the first time I've run into that. Anyways, this is like a small rest area right here. If you needed to repair your cart, you could just pull out your hammer and fix it. Like that. Let's keep on trucking. Now I can hear some bad guys in the distance for sure. Just gonna keep on motoring along here, and we might run into some bad guys we might have to take out, but we got our spear on us, so we'll be fine. Let's pick up this branch, get it off the road. And I have fought and killed about 3 to 5 trolls in this area already. So if one did pop up, it would be a respawn, but it usually takes quite a few days for that to happen, so we're probably safe for the time being. So there's a secondary road I put in. That's going down to a 3rd or 4th copper node that I've already started on. And then through this gate right here is my original 2 to 3 copper nodes that I found very close to each other. And we're basically standing on top of where they were. And you'll notice all around my little base here, I have another canal in case trolls decide to come. I'll show you over here too. I didn't dig it out as deep as the one at my house, obviously, but it does go most of the way around this entire camp, except for the area with the gate that we just went through. And I built a little hut right here, just a workstation where I can repair one of my pickaxes anyways. A couple of chests right there. And then what I have in here, guys, is a portal back to my house that we just came from. So I can take everything back with the ore, basically, you know, because you can't take the ore back with you through the portal. So that's pretty much basically the reason for the whole road, to be honest with you. So this is the cart that I have, well, partially full, you know, quite a bit of copper, quite a bit of tin in here. And we're going to go ahead and grab this and take this back with us. So now I have a cart right there that I can use to fill up. And this is going to be a rough one. I never tried to take a cart back to my house that was this full before. I don't know how much it's going to slow me down, or if it's possible to even pull it up some of those hills. So we're going to find that out together. It's going to be interesting. But we definitely want to avoid trolls and being attacked while we're pulling this bad boy. Wow, did I just get stuck already? This might be too heavy. I don't even know if this is going to work. I guess we'll find out. I only have 2 minutes left on my rested buff, so let me grab a rested buff real quick. There we go. 8 minutes. We'll know in 8 minutes whether or not. Right, guys? Alright, let's grab this bad boy. See if we can make it back to the house. Obviously, the downhill portions are pretty easy. But we got a lot of steep hills. We might have to... It's going to be interesting to see if there's just actually a spot that is actually too hard for us to get up, you know? I have a feeling after we cross that one river, we might run into a spot like that. But this is about as full as you're going to get this cart. I mean... I don't see a reason to need to fill it up even more than this. It took like an entire day to get this ore, so... So this hill after this bridge is the one I'm worried about. I think that's the only spot we really need to worry about that might give us a hard time, is this next hill going here. I might have to stop halfway up it and stamina up. Yeah, I don't know if there's any way we're gonna make it up this hill or not, man. Oh no, and then it pulls us back down too. Alright, we're gonna have to take care of this fool. Oh no. So this is freaking hilarious, guys. Yeah, there is just no way we're gonna make it up this hill the way it is. Someone put the cart down. We got a chest in the cabin right back here. So we'll put some of the ore in there. So now we have 3, 6, 9, 12, 150 ore on here. Let's see if it's a little easier to pull this thing. Seems easier. really screwed this hill up with that hoe. I worked on it for quite a while trying to get it smooth. We'll see. It still might be too heavy, huh? Let's go ahead and get the hoe out. Let's go! Come on, get out. There we go. Halfway up. Halfway up the hill. That's steeper part right there. It's gonna be rough. I think if we could just get part way up it and then turn sideways before we run out of stamina, it won't drag us all the way back down the hill. Now we'll turn sideways. Woo! Got there, boys. We're gonna make it. Yeah, home free. I was worried. What I might do if I get really bored is just dig a hole all the way through that mountain and just put wood the whole way. I'm just gonna hit the Q button at this point. Yeah. Oh, we're gonna... Yeah, we got stuck. I gotta take those out of there so I can just hit the Q button. So all the trees that I lumbered, my house right here is right on the edge of the Black Forest, which is right over there, is the Black Forest. And I lumbered all the trees for this entire, for the house and this bridge, all from that area right there. And so now I have like a bunch of deer that regularly spawn right there in that field. And I could just stand on that little perch right there with my bow and get leather and meat whenever I need it, which is really cool. Got there. Oh yeah. Now I just got to take all this ore into the house, right guys? Alright, we got the ore in the house. We got our cart fixed up. Let's go back and get our ore that we couldn't bring. It's getting dark, so we need to haul ass, because a lot of times more bad guys spawn at nighttime. Oh yeah. I am going to smelt this stuff, and we're going to have a bunch of bars on our hands. We're going to turn it into some bronze and get ourselves some new armor. It's going to be sweet. That was awesome. Let me show you what I'm talking about back here at the old mining hub. So the separate road I got right here It's not really a... I guess you could fit a cart down here if you had to. Basically goes down here to this copper node I just got done mining, which was all right here in this area. And I bet you anything, there's still some copper in here that I missed. Yep, right there. Probably a pretty large piece of it. There's probably more underneath here. I'll come back and get later. But then, see, that was the road, so then it comes down around this way. I don't remember how far I went, but see, I can drag the cart along with me if I want and get, or tin spawns all along this river right here. And I've been mining it, so it's not here right now, but I'll just continue this path around, cut down some trees and stuff, and continue this path all the way around this whole stupid island. And then when I'm done with this one, I'll build a bridge to go across here. Like right here's a pretty good spot. And then I can just build a path that goes around this area too, if I need to. I can just build a path that goes around this entire freaking place. I mean, there's hundreds of tin nodes around this coast over here. It's just so far away at this point. Because you have to have you can't take the tin and the copper through the portals, obviously, or I wouldn't go through all this bullshit trouble. Right here, guys, you're going to see a prime example of why we have to build roads. It wouldn't let me go through the portal because I had one piece of copper on me. Okay, friends and fellow Vikings, that's going to do it for today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this answered some questions for you and it let you see a different side of the game than just speedrunning it to the end bosses. I foresee thousands of hours of playing Valheim and it's just getting started. Who knows what the future will hold for us MMORPG fans. For more content on beekeeping, taming animals, building bridges, and more, check out my other videos. Please like, comment, and don't forget the only warriors smart enough to subscribe make it into Valhalla. Appreciate you so much, and I'll see you on my next adventure. Take care of yourself.